Cottage pie, but it's done restaurant style, it's high protein and it's meal prep. This is the perfect combination. And for today's recipe, all of the ingredients we're going to need split into two sections, with the beef mix being the first and the mashed potato the second.
We're going to begin with the mash so everything's timed correctly. Take 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of any all-rounder potato, something like Sebago, Desiree or Yukon Gold. These have enough starch to mash smoothly, but they also hold enough waxiness to bake nicely on top. Peel off the skins, or you can leave them on if you prefer skin on in your mash, and then with the skins, if you have peeled them, you can roast these up and turn them into little potato crisps, but that choice is all yours. Once you have them peeled, chop them into even chunks, make sure that they're all the same size, that way everything will cook at the same rate, and then we can place these straight into a large pot, and cover them with enough cold water to cover them by about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Place these over a high heat and season generously with salt. Bring it up to a boil and let these simmer gently for about 15 to 18 minutes or until they're fork tender, and then drain. While the potatoes do their thing, let's prep everything else. Grate 1 large brown or yellow onion on a larger side of a box grater, as well as 1 carrot. You can peel it or leave the peel on, I like to leave it on. And 1 stick of celery, just make sure that these are all completely broken down. Sometimes the fibre of celery can get really stringy, so just beware of that. And grating them rather than dicing them just breaks down the fibres more finely so that they melt into the sauce and create a thicker, more cohesive filling. Use the side of your knife to push down and crush on 4 cloves of garlic and then go through and roughly chop. You can also grate it and add it straight into the mix with the other vegetables, but I like to keep this separate and add the garlic a little bit after just so we don't burn anything. And for recipes like this, I like the larger chunks, that way you can get a really nice caramelized flavour on it. Place a large pan over a medium-high heat, get this nice and hot, and add in 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of olive oil. Add in the grated onion, carrot and celery and cook these gently with a pinch of salt for about 6 to 8 minutes, and those small shreds soften quickly and release their juices, almost dissolving into the oil to create the base of our sauce. Just keep it moving regularly, that way nothing will burn. Once you have that done, add in the chopped up garlic and cook for about 1 minute, mixing it regularly, and this is just going to allow it to release its fragrance into the dish. Turn the heat up to a high and then add in 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of lean beef mince. I like to spread it apart just so it's sitting on the surface of the pan, and then we want to let this sit for about a minute or two just to build a crust, and then we can start breaking it up and mixing it through and cooking it until it's no longer pink, and this will take roughly 7 to 8 minutes. Also, don't forget to season to taste with salt and cracked black pepper. Once browned off and most of the water has evaporated, we can add in the tomato paste. This is 3 tablespoons or 60 grams. Mix it around and cook this for about 2 minutes, just to caramelize it and get that nice deep flavor within the dish. Now pour in 2 tablespoons or 40 milliliters of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of balsamic vinegar, 3 3/4 cups or 900 milliliters of beef stock. For some herbs, I've got 8 sprigs of thyme, 3 sprigs of rosemary and 3 bay leaves. Mix that all together, scrape the base of the pan to lift up all of that fond. Those caramelized bits are all packed with flavor. Bring this up to a boil and then reduce the heat and let it simmer gently for about 25 to 30 minutes, stirring it occasionally until it reduces and thickens into a glossy sauce that clings to the beef. And don't forget to season to taste. Now while the beef is simmering, we can finish our potatoes. We're going to mash them until completely smooth or use a potato ricer for even finer texture, which doesn't really need to be used for this recipe. Stir through 3 tablespoons or 40 grams of unsalted butter, along with half a cup or 125 milliliters of warm milk. And for a little bit of extra richness and color, stir in 1 egg yolk, and this will help the mash bake to a beautiful golden finish and get those nice little crusty pieces on top. Also season to taste with salt and ground white pepper. You can use freshly cracked black pepper for it as well, but you will get those large chunks throughout. Just go through, mash it to your liking, and make sure you season to your taste. And once you're happy with it, this can be popped aside for the time being. Once the sauce has reduced down and you've got that nice thick glossy sauce, just remove those herb sprigs and the bay leaf. Add in 1.5 cups or 200 grams of frozen peas. Give the whole lot a really good mix through, double check it for seasoning, cook this for 1 minute, and we can remove this from the stovetop. Now to assemble these, I'm using 5 750 milliliter containers. They're also oven safe, so if you don't have oven safe containers, I'll leave details of how to do this in the description. Divide the beef filling evenly between the 5 containers, and then spoon the mash over the top, making sure that you spread it right to the edges, and this seals in the filling and stops it from bubbling out during the bake, which did actually happen to me, but it doesn't really matter, it even adds a nice extra flavor. If you want it to be extremely accurate, you can use scales and weigh everything out. Just do whatever's easiest for you. Place the containers onto a tray for easy transfer and then bake at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes until the tops are golden brown and lightly crisp. Once you have that done, these look absolutely beautiful with the remaining nutrition and the full written recipe in the link in the description.
Now with these ones, I do recommend letting them completely cool down and then place on the lids. That way the potato won't go soggy. These will last 4 days in the fridge and up to 4 months in the freezer. As for reheating, I'll leave details about that in the description. So with all said and done, there is only one thing left to do, and that is we can then dig in. That is incredible. It's rich and the potato's smooth. It's got that nice crisp touch from the egg yolk. Definitely do make this recipe. It's absolutely fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.